College? Classic! Did just say college classic campuses? Well, sure you did. We're reading Want to Hear a Whopper. Now, if you go to Carl's Jr., you'll find a Whopper, right? No. If you go to McDonald's, you'll get a Whopper, right? No. Okay, if you go to Burger King, you'll get a Whopper, right? Yes. Okay, that's not like going to Del Taco or Taco Quickie or Dogs or Quickie Dog, right? No. But if you want to get a Whopper, I understand Larry D.Harper selling some, right? Yeah. Okay. So, we left off. Already, we're almost done with this book. And it didn't take long to read it. But, let's finish. So now, the Niagara Bible Conference. We have already seen how the Plymouth Brethren planted Darby's dumb doctrine in every Protestant denomination in the United States. We've seen that. And once that was accomplished, all the wicked one needed was something to make, or someone to make his own and give it a little nurturing. James H. Brooks did all that and more. You know any Brooks that are stupid as James H. Brooks? He helped to organize the Niagara Bible Conference and then served as its president from the time of its inception in 1878 until his death in 1897. 3 years after Brooks died in the fall of 1900, the organization closed its doors forever. So it is not too difficult to see that he was more likely the driving force behind it while he was alive, by regularly bringing together those who believed. So Plymouth Brethren is a name that you can use today for a rock band. He preached and taught the wicked one's dispensational themes. Brooks provided a convenient way for the wicked one to maintain his assault on all fronts. You believe that? You believe he was that wicked, that evil, where they would claim the name of God Almighty and yet still be satanic? Brooks and the men who helped him from the Niagara Bible Conference were nothing more than the wicked one's dupes. That's sad. Evangelical critics of the dispensational teaching in his day were correctly identifying dispensationalism as a brethren doctrine and warning Christians that it was a dangerous innovation. Brooks and his fellow dispensationalists took offense at the mere suggestions that their beliefs might be in error. Consequently, they fought back with a vengeance. In the following quotation, Brooks not only reveals his complete ignorance concerning the premillennial post-tribulation beliefs of the early church fathers, Irenaeus and Hippolytus, he also provides a bit of insight into how difficult it would be for the wicked one to make headway as long as dispensational teaching continued to be identified with the brethren. So what they're saying is that a lot of this premillennial, pre-tribulational, and pre-imminential is pre-bullcrap. They claim that the pre-tribulation rapture is the Plymouth Brethren view. And owing to the universal detestation with which this sect is held by all other sects, they use the argument with powerful effect on many shallow minds, but they forget that their own view is Plymouth Brethrenism. J.N. Darby and B.W. Newton had a quarrel more than 50 years ago. The latter, a very able and scholarly man, becoming the founder of the doctrine that the church will pass through the tribulation. Okay, maybe that's true, because The tribulation period is a dangerous period in time. Lots of people are killed. They're dead. They die. They're killed by Satan, the wicked one. Brooks' argument against his opponents stems from his own ignorance. Newton was certainly not the origin of the truth that Irenaeus and Hippolytus taught, but you can still see that from the tone of Brooks' statements that the wicked one needed a way to shift the focus of attention away from the brethren and thereby take away one of the most potent arguments the critics of dispensation had. Nobody had ever heard of Darby's dispensational teachings until the brethren began preaching it far and wide. The wicked one hated that argument, and he knew that the only way to overcome it was to make dispensationalism a part of the church at large. He had a plan whereby he intended to accomplish that, and a part of that plan involved driving true believers out of the mainline denominations and into independent churches. Now, the wicked one is a fool, but he is certainly not a complete stupid fool. He knew that if dispensationalism remained restricted to only one identifiable group, the church today would view it much the same way as it does Mormon teaching. But he also knew his non-Christian belief and beliefs concerning Israel, the Jews, and the church could sail successfully under the radar of those on the lookout for non-Christian sects like the Mormons and the Jehovah's Witnesses, and that they were broadcasted throughout the church under the guise of a prophetic system of interpretation. To accomplish that, however, he needed a way for the leaders of his new movement to meet regularly without being identified as a separate denomination. The Niagara Bible Conference provided that cover. Here's the funny thing is that we see here nothing but arguing about pre-tribulation and tribulation and pre-millennial, but we don't see the worship of Jesus Christ from anyone. We see an argument instead. That's kind of like what's going on in my mobile home park. We have some people claiming to be Christians, some people claiming to be ISIS, some people claiming to be atheists, and we have the ISISans attacking the Christians instead of the atheists. Then we have Christians who are claiming to be ISIS undercover. They go to church, they sit in the church, and then they go out and they put on those white hoods, and they claim ISIS instead of the Ku Klux Klan. Hey! John Barringer, why don't you come outside? Hey, I recognize your voice. Is that you from First Baptist in Valley Vista? No, it's not me from First Baptist in Valley Vista. Now I recognize your voice. Is that your son on your right side there? Boy, you're in the 7th grade, aren't you? Come outside! Why don't you take off the hoods and reveal who you are? We're ISIS! Good plan, baby. All over again. The meetings sponsored by the Niagara Bible Conference were nothing more than a gathering of the leaders of the church within the church, and that is the way Brooks described them in the truth. However, he told people that they were a gathering of the wheat among the tares, implying that only those who attended his conference meetings were part of the church, of a true church. That is, just as the wicked one planned. He knew he had to appeal directly to those who actually believed the gospel. Brooks did not, and did an incredibly good job of it. So, we would say that Brooks guy is a liar. So the proponents of dispensationalism continued gathering under the guise of the interdenominational Niagara Bible Conference until the 1900s, when the organization disbanded, as I mentioned above. The movement lost its focus almost immediately after Brooks died, and conference attendance diminished greatly, and there was an increasing controversy over Darby's doctrine of any movement rapture. But the rapid demise of the Niagara Bible Conference is somewhat misleading. The truth is that the wicked one had already prepared someone else to assume the role Brooks had played. The wicked one had groomed yet a third man for the job of the setting of the controversy among the dispensationalists by carefully continuing the essential doctrines that he needs folks to believe here at the end. It sounds to me like nothing but bullcrap.